What's going on, people? It's your boy 3MG, represent 3MG Nation, back here with another video. Hope everybody's Monday is well, everybody's doing good. The vacation is still going for the youngins, and for some people who, have jobs and are on vacation. So, question is Black Ops 3 the first Call of Duty MMO? Now, I'm not here to say that this is my own idea. This is where I came up with this myself. I'm gonna just huge shout out to Dragon Mall, part of Zam.com. Came up with this story in this article. Whether or not the article is false doesn't really matter at this point. It's really just opinion and thoughts and just predictions and anything you want to call it. But it makes a lot of sense, and I can understand why people or this person right here can really see it, being that Call of Duty is transitioning over to an MMO style, and that's basically one of the first things. Over the few years, we've noticed Call of Duty has always been influenced by other games, but I think this specific one, Black Ops 3, was heavily influenced by a game like Destiny. Destiny being, whether or not people want to call it an MMO or not, just has different, elements of MMO style based gameplay or game style. And for example, you have Black Ops 3, which it has, I feel like it could enter that realm. Do I want it to? Not really. And for many different reasons. I'll touch base on that in a second. But for example, the Call of Duty franchise as a whole has always done things that you would assume, like, are we gonna get like a Call of Duty massive multiplayer? Like, that would be great. For example, you had Advanced Warfare, where you'll do supply drop openings, and that's just one of the main things. Supply drops, the crate drops, supply drops. Normally with MMOs, that's one of the biggest things in a lot of MMOs. You also have variants when you get to get many different weapons or skins or just a lot of different things of variants. That is heavily influenced by MMO games. Whether you want to believe it or not, there's a lot of influence going on with MMOs. Also, you have specialists in games like World of Warcraft and just a whole bunch of other MMO games. You are able to pick a specific character or faction which has a special ability, and Black Ops did introduce that, and Destiny has that too. But people do try to debate that Destiny is somewhat of an MMO style game. So with Black Ops 3, it does seem like, even though they're transitioning their little style into like an MMO base, I love the fact that with such a small game such as Black Ops 3 compared to an MMO, that it really took a lot of fundamentals and elements of just a lot of different games and put it into their compact based shooter, which is a 6v6, a 5v5, or a 9v9 game. And I think it works very well. Now, will it work for an MMO style game? I'm not sure. What would happen to the kill streaks? What would happen to freaking MLG? What would happen to a lot of different things? I mean, for one thing, the point system in the game definitely is heavily influenced by MMOs, because there's a point system in MMOs where people level up, unlock different abilities, and get to upgrade. And yes, Black Ops 3 does have a lot of these features. And the created class system is not really an MMO thing, obviously not, but the fact that they have specialists, which adds a new addition to the game, I honestly think that is something that's very similar to an MMO game. I can't stress that enough. And if you think about it, each specialist, and as reading from the article, I'm not taking the information based on my own idea, it is true. Each specialist has their own ability along with their own weapon of choice. So each specialist has two different abilities that you can have. You get to upgrade their skins, whatnot. And I mean, for, like I said, like a small jam-packed game, they added their version of it, their style of it. So you can't really 100% customize your character the way you want, but they give you different variants of skins and different clothing and cloaking abilities. They got different gestures, they added different taunts. They're adding a lot of elements and a lot of things that are heavily influenced by MMOs. And I'm just gonna say this again, we know this game is heavily influenced by Destiny, but seeing that this game has brought to the table these features, it still is heavily influenced with MMO style gameplay. And of course there's single player and there's zombies, but one thing I can definitely say is what makes Call of Duty, and especially Black Ops 3, so different and so good at this moment, and obviously this time right now, is that you can tell that they're adding a leveling system in the single player, which obviously they got co-op, and then that falls under the realm of just the leveling and the system, point system, and how people can progress and stuff like that, unlock camos for the multiplayer, as well as zombies. They have a system where they have a leveling system in there as well. You can unlock stuff for the multiplayer, such as camos and stuff like that. So I think they're trying to include that all together. Personally, one thing I don't agree with was this, but supposedly in the article it says that Black Ops 3 is the largest transition Call of Duty has made toward rectifying. Do I necessarily agree whether or not they're trying to say for the better? Yeah, that may be for the better, but yeah, Advanced Warfare definitely was one of the largest transitions of any Call of Duty game, and I think it was for the worst, because it totally took out or took away what was really Call of Duty. you know, boots on the ground, or just, it just totally took away what was a Call of Duty game. In this case, you know, Black Ops dialed it back a notch, and they still gave you your, you know, your boots on the ground gameplay, just with excellent, just with features that really just built the game and really just made it so balanced. And I honestly think the game is super balanced for a game that's been out now almost, what, a month or 2 months now. This game hasn't really gotten any negative feedback. There's been negatives on certain ends, but this game has been one of the best Call of Duty games since over the last 2 years. Honestly, with everything that's in this game, do you think it is possible that Call of Duty can enter the MMO realm? Do you want to see this game? Do you think the other developers such as Sledgehammer or Infinity Ward are up to date on this? Do you think they would have to change up what, you know, even if they're on par with what's going on, do you think they can bring it to the table? I mean, personally, I don't want to see a Call of Duty MMO if it's going to take away this of what we have now. If there's going to be a separate game that people could just play an MMO of Call of Duty, where they're not going to come out with a Call of Duty every year for that specific, you know, genre or title, MMO style, and just do like the CSGO, or I don't know, or just do like what MMOs do. They normally just update and come out with different, you know, DLCs and all that. Then okay, but don't change up. And like, don't get me wrong, the every year Call of Duty thing does die out. But do you guys actually want to see the every year thing go away, and then we never get to experience a different, you know, Call of Duty type? Because an MMO would only mean that, and I would hope that it's coming out with all devs on deck with the game, because and every year an MMO Call of Duty, that doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't see a lot of work being put into these games. It's ridiculous. I don't even see it working. Servers, guns, DLCs, content, I don't see it there, you know. But if it's something like, if they've been working on this and if this can happen, I would have to see all developers on deck, and it would either be a choice. Do we see a Call of Duty every year, or do they just take away this last Call of Duty and they just make a huge MMO, which they're going to always just give us updates and patches? I mean, I want to know what's y'all thoughts on that. Personally, I don't want to see one of my favorite franchises turn into an MMO. A lot of things change in that sense. It can work for the better. We're still going to have our same style of gameplay. Maybe have many maps. Who knows? There could be a lot of great things, and then there could be a lot of fallouts. I mean, who knows? It is a great article actually, but I'll put in the link in the description. Anybody want to read it? But yeah, there could be some negatives, some positives on it. I mean, I don't know. How would it turn out? You know what I mean? It's your boy 3MG here, representing 3MG Nation, and I hope you guys have a great Monday, great week. Be happy, be healthy. We out of here. Peace.
Yeah, give me a head start. Thank God, gonna have me like hallelujah.